everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Today I'll be talking about the benefits of journaling with purpose and how you can get started. So for me, I've actually been writing in a diary since I was about 11 years old, and to be honest, I only did it because I really loved my handwriting and I just thought it was a fun way to document the things that I did in my life. I spoke about the things that I ate during the day, the people that I was with. So it was only within the last 4 years that I actually realized the benefits of journaling with an actual purpose, and how if you do it effectively for yourself, you can actually discover so many new things. For example, you can start off by treating your journal as a person, and if you were to share an issue or a problem that you experienced during the day, you can write it in your journal just like you would share it with somebody else, and then kind of just take your time breaking it down and analyzing it, and in the end you'll be able to come up with some kind of solution for the problem that you faced. And even if you don't come up with a solution, that's not the aim of journaling. It's very different for each person, but you will get a deeper understanding of yourself. Journaling also helps you feel less overwhelmed. When you start to journal effectively, you can prioritize your thoughts and emotions, and you can organize everything that's going on in your head. Another thing that I learned about journaling is that you actually start to realize how to talk to yourself in a positive way and recognize the negative self-talk. We all experience negative self-talk, and we all know that we would never speak to another person the way that we sometimes speak to ourselves. Once we start to put down our thoughts on paper, this awareness starts to increase and we can start to turn those negative things into a positive thing. Journaling is also a really good way to reflect on your day. The more you practice reflecting on your own journey can actually help you feel more empathic and compassionate towards other people. Once you recognize that there's a lot going on for you, you start to realize that everyone's on their own journey, and you can become a bit more respectful towards them too. I also found that the more I journal, the more resilient I become, and this is because, again, seeing everything put on a piece of paper helps me remember that I'm in control of my response. This doesn't mean that I have to respond in the best way all the time. It just reminds me that I'm in control. Sometimes you just realize that this was my trigger, this is what helps me, and that's what I need to get done. So you will learn different things at different rates. Just take your time, and remember, always be kind to yourself. And this doesn't have to be something intense. It could just be the reason you wake up late every morning. It could just be why you're not performing as well as you want to. Once you start to really understand your behavior and start to analyze yourself, you can start to take more control of your life. Another thing that journaling really helps you with is achieving your goals. So this is because once you start writing and talking about your goals, you'll be able to prioritize which ones you're most passionate about, which ones are most achievable, and then you'll go in deeper and start to see the barriers that you might create for yourself that's stopping you from achieving your goals. Sometimes I experience way too many thoughts to be able to just do that in my head. So writing it down makes it a lot easier to process and gives me enough time to make sure I make the right decision after that. So morning pages is a concept where you just write. You don't think about what you're doing, you don't think about what you're writing, you just let that stream of consciousness flow. And this was originally designed to help people remove things that block their creativity. But I believe that anyone can use it, because when we're designing our own life, we need to be creative, we need to think of ways that we can start to improve our life. So this is a really great way to start your morning. A few tips that I want to share about morning pages is make sure you don't use a really beautiful notebook with your favorite pen and think that it's going to look beautiful, because that's not what you want. You don't want your thoughts to slow down to make sure your writing is neat. You just want to flow. You want to make sure everything that is on your mind in the morning is coming out and being put on that paper. There can be spelling mistakes, and you don't even have to have a complete sentence. It doesn't even need to make sense, because this is something that you're not going to read. You just need to release from your body. So there's no need to analyze it afterwards, and it's a different kind of concept to help you take off any heavy load that you might be carrying. And then once you've finished, if you do feel an urge to break down a thought or understand it a little bit further, then you can move to your journal and take your time on breaking down something. For example, when I do my morning pages, there's something that sticks with me and it's a heavy emotion that I think I'm still feeling afterwards. Then I'll go to my journal, break it down and try to understand it a little bit more. This will help you be more mindful for everything that you do during the day. At the start of my journey, I used to write all of my chaotic thoughts in my notes on my phone, and that was only because I could type faster than I could actually write. So anytime I was feeling frustrated or I felt a bit of anger that I wanted to release in that moment, and my phone was always the thing that I had nearby. So I started to realize that, okay, I'm just repeating the same things in my notes, I'm gonna stop writing it down. And then this was when I was able to slow down my thinking and take control of what I'm actually feeling and how I'm gonna respond to it. So then I started writing my morning pages. And obviously I was a bit slower because I was writing by hand, but this pace actually gave me that time to understand my thoughts. So when I'm writing, I realized that my thoughts are not as racy and they've actually started to slow down. So now I don't write morning pages every day, but I do write them when I'm feeling a bit lost and confused and I need to release everything, and then I can start to break it down and analyze it. Now, if you're just getting started on this journey, please don't compare yourself to my journey. Like I said, I've been doing this for 4 years and I'm still learning so much. So yeah, when I write in my journals now, I actually feel like they are more purposeful and more meaningful. There's more structure and there's more organization. This is helping me organize my thoughts. So for example, I'll start writing in my journal if I feel like I experienced something a bit negative and I want to break it down. I'll write that in my journal and then I'll write my response to it, and it will be something along the lines of making sure we accept it, making sure I'm staying compassionate, and just gentle reminders to myself of who I actually want to be. So that's kind of like a little solution of the problem that I had during the day. And you don't have to have a problem. You can journal about something positive. You can journal about how grateful you're feeling today. And I've had moments like that where I'm just like overflowing with gratitude, and I fill a whole page in my journal. And we need to make sure we're focusing on those good days as well. If I don't feel as free as I normally would after writing in my journal, I'll make sure I talk to someone. And this is actually a really important part of it, because going to somebody you trust can help you grow, because you'll learn all of these different perspectives on life. And this is the journey of growth. You'll start to improve your perspective on life. You'll start to improve your own understanding of life and continue to grow and develop yourself. So here are a few journaling prompts that I've come up with. If you want to download the PDF, there'll be a link in the description box below. So the first one is, if there was nothing holding me back, what would my life look like? And this is one of my favorite ones, because you start to realize there's actually nothing holding you back from achieving whatever you want except for yourself. And this is when you start to become aware of the negative self-talk or the doubts that you actually give to yourself. So I'm always left feeling a bit more empowered and motivated, because nothing is actually holding me back except for myself. And once I remove that, then I can achieve anything I want, and so can you. And the last one is very important, especially with everything going on right now. Just to become more aware of if you're actually taking care of yourself, and just a reminder that you should, and making sure you're not neglecting yourself with everything that's going on in the world. Okay everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching my videos, and don't forget to leave a comment down below of what you think of journaling. I hope you're staying safe and well, and don't forget to take care of yourselves. Bye.